This Disability Pride Month, we've released a series of conversations exploring how we can all be more inclusive in our everyday lives. This final conversation is with Isaac Harvey, MBE, and heavily focuses on how we can all make our content more accessible. The question I'm going to ask everyone, what does the word inclusion mean to you?
I feel inclusion is where everyone has the right chances to be. So you can have equal opportunities, but if the wrong things are in place, then you can't actually do the equal opportunity. So it's making sure everything is in place for someone to be their best.
And you're the perfect man for this question, taking inclusion into content. How do you even define inclusive content?
Content that anyone can access, really.
You nailed it there in one sentence.
I don't need to say any more then. Yeah. But no, I think it's just, being able to access the same content as everyone else.
And for someone that's maybe unfamiliar with the topic, what are the pillars of inclusive content? What do people normally, across all like YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, what are people looking for?
Gosh, I mean, there's so many different layers to it, but when it comes to content specifically, one would be captions, making sure that videos are captioned, and I mean, there's different viewpoints on what fonts should be used and if it should be moving or not, because it's been a big mixture of that, but it's making sure that it's big enough to be readable, but not in a way of what's going on in the actual content. So make sure that's captioned. I would say, in my opinion, short form, I would have it burnt in captions, but longer form, giving people the option of turning on and off captions, just give people that choice.
And is there a particular preference on, or advisable ones to use on, you can put shadow behind it, you can put a whole black bar, you can white, black, colours-wise, what works best in your experience for being the most easily viewed and most easily read version?
Basically not too animated, and you want the black background so it's easy to read.
Fantastic. And other things, captions, I guess, are a big part of it. Other element in terms of music, sound, or how people are speaking, what's a good practice?
So it's mainly, again, this is the way I do it, but I think it's mainly what's spoken. But I also like to include when music's come in, or if there's a sound at the background, like a dog barking, or other sounds like a bike squeaking or something like that. I do sometimes add that in if it adds to what's been shown. Because if it's not related to what's going on screen, I think it's the most important thing anyone can do is what's spoken.
Other elements to think about, is there any, in terms of music, sound, what do you think about when you're creating your content? Anything to make it accessible for the whole spectrum of disabilities out there?
So I learned this from someone who's got a form of autism, and I used to do vlogging, and at some points when watching YouTube, there'll be some YouTubers who would add like loud music, or music would just come in randomly, and I'll just do it because that's the content I wanted to create. But then I did a video and someone commented saying, actually having the music be random actually made me a bit jumpy, and I lost all concentration on the video. And I was like, I didn't really think about that. So then it was like, fading in music and not having things too loud, so it's all balanced out, so it's a better watching experience when it comes to videos and the additional things that you can add.
I love this. Is a big discussion Michael and I had when we were editing Fight as well. There were bits said the music was too loud. I wonder if it's that creative element, perhaps. I kind of push back sometimes in saying I want the audience to feel a certain way. This I've used as powerful music. What is as a creative, you're thinking about making your next film and you want people to enjoy it. Is it a case of thinking the music, it's not that important, or it's kind of bringing it down to more important to make it inclusive? It's that debate of being creative versus making it accessible. So, should you do a loud music version, a low music version, caption, non-caption, what's best practice in that?
That's a great point. And there's a lot of different layers to it, because sometimes, and this is the honest truth, but making things accessible does sometimes make you lose the creativity. And with any video, you're just not going to be able to make it perfect for everybody. So I think it's just having that balance and trying reaching as many people as you can, but knowing that you're not going to get everybody. Because, filmmakers wouldn't be creating films if they were that restricted on creating accessible content. I mean, I created a video for a local charity, and they wanted to make all the content accessible, and all they wanted to do was create a BSL version where someone was doing signing on the videos. And I thought, yeah, that's great, but for some people it could be a distraction, having the BSL there. And I managed to be able to get them to understand that we can't just do that one version. Because they wanted to cram in every accessibility into one video. And so they ended up saying, okay, we'll do 2 types of videos. So now we have a BSL version and a not BSL version with captions. So at least then people have the option between the 2.
And I'm thinking with people with lived experience as well, kind of what is the importance of having, I think from a business case here, because it is, as an editor yourself, you kind of know to make the video, make the cut, and then add captions it's extra time for an extra edit. What would you say, what have you seen that appears it's so important, that reason to allow people to be able to engage with the content and feel included? What is the real resonance of that?
I mean, one thing I can really relate to, and it's not to do with filming, but so another accessibility thing has been image descriptions and alternative text. And I, for years, just created content, didn't do any image description or alternative text. And then it was only until I connected with someone with a lived experience who was blind, visually impaired, and was talking about the importance of image description. And I was thinking, what's image descriptions? And when I really looked into it, I realized that my content wasn't reaching that, it was losing a huge amount of people to access my content. And that can be said when creating films or any type of media, that if you don't go ahead and do things to make it accessible, you're missing out a huge chunk of people.
It's the purple pound business case of that sort of 25% of people not being able to, when we were competing for the YouTube views and the algorithm, isn't it? I guess you can't, that's such a powerful...
And also, you're future-proofing your content because anyone at any given time can gain a disability. So you would like to make things accessible for yourself, your loved ones, the people around you, because short-term, long-term, accident, health condition, we're going to have a disability one time in our life. So why not make your content accessible now?
For someone that's, to finish off as well, kind of you're a prolific content creator. We could talk for days about your YouTube vlogs, the stuff you do. When you're going out making content, get me inside your brain. What are you thinking? What are you trying to say? What's the inclusive aspect? Kind of what's going through your mind?
Oh, you don't want to go into my mind.
With plenty of memory cards, we can get right into this.
I mean, yeah, my mind is full of ideas and ways of thinking. I mean, before it was just creating content, because I've always had a creative mind, and it was just like, I have this idea and I want to turn it into something. But now going into the advocacy space, it's now thinking of ways that it can be reaching more people. So there's another layer to it now that I'm seen as this disability advocate. So it's a lot more to think about, but also, again, keeping that balance of creativity whilst also making sure that things are accessible. So making sure that the sound is right from the get-go. Then when it comes to the editing, making sure there's captions and image descriptions. So it's all these things that there's a lot of layers to creating, then putting it together, then posting. Every part of that, I have accessibility in mind.
And the amount of the volume of content you put out, I think, is an impressive benchmark for anyone to try and keep up with that.
But I said this off camera to you, but utilizing artificial intelligence and using those tools to help create accessible content. So, for example, putting in an image and then asking ChatGPT or Gemini, can you create me an image description and alternative text? And then it gives you a base for it, and then changing it into your own words and terminology. Because, there's a lot of people who do find it hard to describe images. I mean, in the beginning, for me, I I thought, oh, how am I going to do this? You know, how am I going to describe images? But I did give it a go. But now how busy my life has become, AI has given me that stepping stone to start the accessibility part, and then using that to then keep on creating content, accessible content.
That's fantastic. I never thought almost using it to when there's the difficult kind of the grunt work and the stuff that the time-consuming stuff that you don't want to do, using AI to kind of take the brunt of that and help you to finish off. I was going to ask everyone in the world of content creation, it could be involved in your areas or something different. Who are some people that you'd recommend checking out that are making great, inclusive and engaging content, would you say?
So firstly, I would have to say Nick Wilson. He's a great content creator who is showcasing accessibility and really showing people with disabilities what you can do outdoors. May that be going to your local shops or going out adventuring on the greenery and wood life. You know, he's a bit of a crazy guy, but he's also someone who's really passionate about everything that he does. So it's really great getting to see him strive actually and really get that platform that a lot of people are listening. I would also like to give a shout out to Kat from Seated Sewing. Her content's a lot different, but it's creating adaptive clothing, bespoke clothing for bespoke needs. You know, not just off the shelf, oh, we're going to do this for every wheelchair user. No, she actually speaks to the client and actually makes sure that the clothes do fit them and they are comfortable and they are confident. I mean, I am one of her clients, and I would say every piece of her clothing has made me feel like empowered, I would say. Empowering, comfortable, confident, and yeah, you know, before that, mum just made clothes fit me, but actually her clothes actually make me feel like me. And it allows me to be seen and given the spotlight. And yeah, there's a lot of content creators. I could be here for ages, but there is a lot of people that I've learned from, and I do appreciate, and have got me to where I am today. Because without them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
Fantastic. Well, definitely throughout the picture of you meeting the king and your customised seated sewing set. I thought you were going to reference that one. Where can people that watch this? Where can people keep in touch with you? And what of your many platforms? Where do you want to send them?
So I would say I'm primarily on LinkedIn. That's my main platform where I share my lived experience, and it's also been the place where I've connected with a lot of different people. But I also, and it's not out yet, and I'm not sure when this will be released, but I'm also going to be starting a Facebook page talking all about artificial intelligence and accessibility, and helping small businesses grow and what tools can be used to do that with AI. And the page will be called Horses Don't Ride Sheep.
Wow. I'm trying to process that in my head.
Yeah.
That's not a common saying? Is that
No,
that's an original?
It's a name that I thought of during Christmas. Just sat there and I was like, I really want to do this AI and talking more about it. And the name just popped in, Horses Don't Ride Sheep. And I thought, oh wow, I really like that name, but what can I really do with it?
It sticks in the mind, doesn't it? It does, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those names that can really, stay with you. But also, the meaning behind it is, horses don't actually ride sheep, but it's the same with accessible tools. Sometimes, some tools are not seen as being accessible. So it's kind of being out of the norm and kind of being different and seeing what can be done to bring more people in and get more people involved.